All right, village board meeting, January 10th, 2022. We'll do roll call here. Mitch Hodson.
Here.
James Coyle.
Here.
Patchin.
Here.
Mary Scott.
Here.
Jared Brammerson.
Here.
Terry Moyer.
Here.
Munson. Absent.
Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, proof of posting, it was duly posted on 12/3, was faxed to Star News, posted at the Black Earth Municipal Building, Black Earth Post Office, posted on the Black Earth webpage, www.blackearthwisconsin.com, and fax for posting to the State Bank of Cross Plains Black Earth branch. Any public input? Seeing none, we'll move on to action item 5A. Presentation from Move Out.
Okay. My name is Dave Porterfield, and first of all, I want to thank Mary Scott and for inviting me, and for the council for the commission for having me as a guest to talk. So I would like to provide a little bit of background information about our organization, and then basically provide some ideas of how we might work with you in the future, and things that I've been involved with in the last couple of years that may be of interest to you. So start out with Moving Out is a 501c nonprofit organization. It's a statewide organization, and we've been around for over 25 years now. And our mission is to provide housing solutions of affordable housing for families that include someone with a permanent disability. And we do that in a couple of major programs that we've operated over those years. First, we operate a home ownership program where we provide specialized housing counseling and then down payment assistance and financing to families to be able to purchase a home and or do rehabilitation to their homes if they need rehab. And again, these are all families that include someone, it could be a child, a young child, or it could be an adult member of the family, could be a single person or a large family. So really quite a bit of different variation on that. But we assist them to purchase homes. And really our mission and our intent is to provide the access to affordable housing for families that really need this assistance to be able to live in good quality, safe housing of their choice around the state. And to date, we've assisted probably around 1,800 families to be able to purchase homes all over the state. We have a very good track record with assisting people, and we continue to do that. We've done quite a bit of work. We're headquartered here in Dane County in Madison. And then the second program, we develop, own, and operate affordable rental housing, multifamily, mostly multifamily housing around the state. And we integrate people with disabilities into that housing. So typically no more than 25% of the units that we develop would be affirmatively marketed to that population of people, with the balance for workers in the communities where it's located. And sometimes seniors. We have a few senior housing projects as well. And we to date have assisted, we've done that for about 12 years now, and maybe closer to 15. And we've developed close to 1,500 units of housing all over the state in quite a number of projects, quite a few in Dane County, but also in Milwaukee and Platteville, up in central Wisconsin and Wisconsin Dells. We have 2 projects, so in quite a few different places. Many of these are larger multifamily housing projects, and some of them are mixed use projects that have other commercial space as part of them. For example, we're about to close on a project right now in the city of Madison, which is a partnership between us and a nonprofit early child education center called the Red Caboose. It's a well-known center in Madison, provides childcare for young, very young children, preschool age. And they needed a new headquarters. They had some land to develop it on. and we had the development expertise. So we're building their facility for them on the ground floor with 38 apartment units above it. And that's kind of an interesting project because in that case, we're going to give preference to future tenants that would be faculty members of the daycare center. As you probably know, childcare does not pay really well, and they have a hard time recruiting and keeping their faculty. And a lot of them really could use, especially in Madison, access to affordable housing, especially if it's co-located where they work. So we're anxious to see that one move forward. We've got another one like that. It's a similar project also in Madison, which is a 25,000 square foot grocery store on the ground floor with 105 units above that. So it's a larger scale project that we're doing. I will say that we don't provide any supportive services to the people that we assist with housing, the people with disabilities, by design, because we want to make sure that people have the option to pick who they like to support them if they need supports to live independently. And so we coordinate closely with quite a number of long-term care agencies that do that kind of thing, that people can pick who they like. And we work and often plan projects with family groups and such. One of our first projects in Stoughton, for instance, that we did was a group of families who had adult children with disabilities, and they were either living at home with their moms and dads and didn't know what to do, or they were living in group homes or just places they didn't want to be. And we ended up developing a 33 unit project there with about a third of those units in that case were marketed to those people who are, most of those residents are still there living there that are just have a disability. So it offers a different kind of living situation than many people that have those circumstances often are able to get. We've expanded over the years, so we also provide some housing for people who have experienced homelessness. Often those people have disabilities as well. It's just kind of goes with the territory in some cases, and for military veterans. So we have a network of service providers for those populations as well that we work with. We finance the rental housing with a combination of low-income housing tax credits administered through WHEDA, the Wisconsin Housing and Economic Development Authority, and other financing resources. We're quite good at putting that and packaging the financing together. And then we hire third-party property managers to manage almost all of this property. So I mentioned at the beginning that I also wanted to mention a few things that I've been working on the last couple of years. I've been associated with the organization since its inception and been an employee for the last 12, 14 years or so. Prior to that, I did consulting around affordable housing, and way back in my history, I actually lived in Mazomanie, and at that time, I worked at Operation Fresh Start, and we helped to found a pilot office in Mazomanie and rehab probably a dozen homes in that community while I lived there. So I have some familiarity with your place, with your sister city of Mazomanie, and know your area pretty well. But I was going to say that part of what I've been focusing on, our strategic plan for our organization has focused on trying to assist and basically provide our access to our housing opportunities to a wider area around the state, especially the rental housing. And I've been meeting with many rural and smaller communities all over the state who really need workforce housing and are interested in what we do. And what I've found in many of those places that the local economy really needs to have additional housing added to it in order to meet the needs of the demands of local businesses, et cetera, for looking for employees. In many places, they don't have enough housing to be able to support the employees they need that live nearby their work. So, we're getting strong interest from Wisconsin Dells, from Marinette up in northeastern Wisconsin. We're working in Rice Lake doing the same thing. So we've got quite a few places around the state that are interested in that. And I thought you may share some of those interests as well. Mary had contacted me and alerted me to talk to me about some properties that she was aware of through her serving on as a trustee on the village board in Black Earth that may be of interest to us. And so that's why she had invited me. And we certainly would be interested if the village were interested to do this. I will say that in to get the resources and make these projects work, to provide housing that's affordable to the basically workers, people who are working at, a Quick Trip, or people who are, working for as a dental assistant, all that kind of thing. Basically, people that maybe in your police force that work at their community, to be able to make something affordable to them, we really have to put a lot of resources into that. As you probably have been watching, the cost for construction and other costs associated with real estate development has really just been going higher and higher. And so to do that, we often need to partner with local communities. They need to provide some kind of resources to the best of their ability, land, possibly tax or criminal financing, and other resources to be able to make it work. And we package the balance of the other financing needed to be able to produce rents that are in the realm where people would be paying, hopefully, somewhere around 30% of their income to be able to afford the housing and the rest of the expenses in life. So that's sort of a nutshell what we do. I'm again interested. I certainly have fond memories of Western Wisconsin, Western Dane County, and that area of the state. I really enjoyed living there. I lived there for 10 years, and often visit there. I still have friends from that area, so I'm familiar with it. And if you have any questions about what we do, I'd be happy to answer those questions and give you any additional information. Or if we wanted to discuss any particular locations or things like that, we could do that as well.
Okay, good. Anybody have any questions?
Thanks, David. That was awesome. So just to clarify again, you have management on site at multi-family units that helps to assist integrating people into the community, workforce, volunteership, otherwise. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have professional property management that does all of the basic requirements to manage, any kind of rental property. They do that. And then in addition to that, we also do provide what we call tenant services, which is really service coordination. So if people need access to something, we have staff that assist them to get help with things if they need that. What we found is that sometimes people who have a disability or have been homeless or that sort of thing, have issues that come up that they can't afford the rent for that month or something like that. And the property manager, there's a behavior problem, and we help to intervene and solve that problem to help people to maintain their tenancy, which is very successful. Often, if you take the time, you find out what the person's issue is, and are able to overcome that issue with some assistance and be able to stay there and live there, which is, of course, what we want, is to have people to be stabilized. Really what we look at is housing is basically a platform or a foundation for anybody's life. You all live in probably good houses, and that's an important part of how you survive and make your life around that, and have safety in a home. And a lot of people have much harder time accessing that. We're trying to solve those problems. So a big part of what we really do is figure out how to pay for it. So, we work really hard at that, and it's not easy work, but it's pretty rewarding.
David, do you have a website?
Yes, we do. Yeah, it's www.movingout.org.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I can send that to you. We have a lot of information on that website about what we do. We partner with a lot of our projects are joint ventures with other developers. If they're larger projects, like the project I described in Madison, which is a grocery store project, we have another Milwaukee-based developer that's part of that project, and we work together to make that happen because there's a lot of work involved. We have a fairly small staff. We have 9 people on our staff, and there's really 3 of us that are focused on the multifamily development. Other people are doing the home ownership aspect of the program.
That location in Madison, that wouldn't happen to be at Washington Avenue and First Street, would it?
No, it's not. As a matter of fact, our offices are located on just off Cottage Grove Road on the east side of Madison, in one of our apartment buildings called Penny Lane. And it's a 70-unit apartment building, and we built an office in part of that. I happen to live 2 blocks from it, so it was pretty convenient for me. But I haven't been there in about a year and a half because of COVID. So,
well, to clarify one more thing then too, did you say that you have worked with Habitat for Humanity? At last meeting, we had Habitat for Humanity come and give a presentation, and you've worked with them then on projects?
Absolutely. With our home ownership program, a lot of the many people that we've assisted with our down payment assistance and housing counseling have participated in Habitat's program and purchased homes through them. So we help them to provide additional down payment assistance. And for people with disabilities to purchase homes, there's sometimes more complications because they live on fixed incomes, like from, government assistance, SSI, and that sort of thing. And because of that, and they rely on, Medicaid reimbursed services to be able to help them to get out of bed in the morning and that sort of thing. They have to be careful about how many assets they have. Those are basically programs that count how many assets. You're not allowed to own much in that case. There are ways to structure home ownerships to be able to assist them to do that and not and still have them be eligible for those resources, which is important to do. That's one example of what we do. A lot of times we work with families to help families who may have for instance, a disabled son or daughter, to help them to figure out how they could help them to finance their own home, but not, again, trigger that problem of providing money to them. You're not supposed to do that through SSI or Medicaid. So you've got to figure that out. We understand how to do that. We've done it many times to assist people through that purchase process. And when I say to people with disabilities, it's really a wide range of people. So people that, maybe have a physical disability or use a wheelchair, people that have developmental disabilities, mental illness, blind, you name it, it's really broad, very broad.
Any other questions?
Excellent. Thank you, David, for coming.
Yeah, thank you so much. And again, if there are things that you're interested in talking about, we're very interested in working in your community. If we could, if there's a way to help, we'd like to do it.
Okay.
Thanks for your time. Thank you.
Okay, have a nice evening.
Thanks. Bye, David.
Bye-bye.
All right, move on to item B, consideration motion to enter into closed session pursuant Wisconsin statute 19.85, parent 1, parent C, consideration, employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation of any public employee over which governmental body has jurisdiction, or exercise reasonability or responsibility. Dane County Sheriff contract. Roll call vote.
All right. Roll call, Mitch Hodson,
Yes.
James Coyle,
Yes.
Scott Patchin,
Yes.
Mary Scott,
Yes.
Jared Brammerson,
Yeah.
Terry Moyer. Yes. And Tyler Munson, still absent.
All right.
I just have to get this set up here. Okay, so back to recording, 6:05, and, roll call, Mitch Hodson,
Yes.
James Coyle,
Yes.
Scott Patchin,
Yes.
Mary Scott,
Yes.
Jared Brammerson,
Yes.
Terry Moyer. Yes. Tyler Munson. Yes.
All right, we're back in open session. I'm texting Sean. All right, I don't think we really have anything to actually vote on. So we'll skip C and D. Did you make Bailey mad and she learned?
Restroom.
All right, so then we're gonna go along to E, discussion action regarding village board minutes.
I move approval.
I'll second. Any discussion?
Yes,
All in
there's a
favor?
correction on the village board minutes. Under the field day subcommittee will be dissolved thereafter, but the $5,000, I had said no. I'm a dissenting. And it says 7-0, but it should be 6-1.
Where are we at?
4F. 4F. Okay.
Yep. Works for me. So are we sending the motion based on that?
I will, amend my motion to approve the minutes with the change of 4F indicating a no vote under 4FI for Scott.
And I'll amend my second the same.
And then
Any
just
more
one quick question. Shelley, under 6C on the back page, it says legal recourse on benchmark Heartland. Are we gonna get an update on that coming up soon, or?
In financials, Mary.
Okay, just making sure, Shell, thanks.
It's not a correction to a minute, so.
No, it's not.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, carries. Discussion action on treasurer's report, November 21.
All right, can y'all hear me okay?
Yep,
All right, your treasurer's report is through the month of November. At this point, we're sitting with $4,292,000 in all of our accounts. Our state revenues and shared revenues are all in at this point. We received probably about 4,000 more than we had budgeted for those revenues. Our court fines are exceeding budget. We finally got back on track after COVID for the most part, and court's been meeting in session, so collections are going well. As a note for December's coming up is our tax collections. Of course, we're in the month of December. We were on target to collect roughly about 3 million, and we collected about 37% of that in the month of December. So we'll see our money market account swell at that point and then come back down over the next couple of months. On your regular financials, your revenue and expense reports, those are, of course, through the month of December, with the exception of the bills. Some of the bills that you'll approve tonight will be backlogged into December versus January. And we are at pre-audit stage. Our general revenues are sitting at about 122% with expenses at 89%. A lot of those revenues are coming in again of the grant that we received on the park and also for the rink. And then also our new home building permits. We saw 14 new homes permitted in 2021, really swelling that building permit revenues. Benchmark did pay in full, so that pilot is at 100% from Benchmark at on our revenues. All accounts plus our utilities were taken care of in December. Police will be over budget. Two of the invoices tonight that are set for your approval are roughly what, $43,000 worth. That'll put us about 8% over what we had budgeted for 2021. On the electric side, our revenues are about 106% with expenses at 103%. Some of those expenses, we saw Alliance go over budget by almost 200,000. Vanguard's final bill for December is not in yet, but as of last month, they were sitting at about 77% of their total budget on the electric side. Water side, our revenues are sitting at about 113% with expenses at 91%. And sewer revenues are at 101% with expenses at 81%. And just as a note, our recycling fees do increase this month of January, 50 cents per household. So residents will start seeing that and in on their bill, and that revenue should be increasing on the general fund going forward. So that is all that I can croak out for your financials tonight.
any questions? Mary, did you get that nursing home was paid in full?
Yes, I wanted to know what section it was going to be under, and I'm glad to hear that. So I heard
Yep.
utilities have been paid in full and the pilot has been paid in full.
That
So
is
we're good
correct.
to go forward. Did they give a reason, by the way?
No reason. We had to really pull a lot of strings to finally get somewhere and get this taken care of, so.
Okay.
Is that a yearly bill?
The pilot is, yes. Mhm.
Yeah, the pilot's been doing taxes.
And that increases based on the cost of living index per the agreement the village signed back in, I think, 2003.
How long is that agreement good for? Are you going to?
Indefinitely until one of us changes that.
Okay.
When they went nonprofit, Sheriff, way back in early 2000s, and some villages granted it and couldn't, they were 16,000 on the tax roll back then. They got taken off the tax roll, so they're only at 9,000 now or whatever.
Right.
So,
Okay.
still huge.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it landed up being a little over 10,000 this year. This next year, we'll probably see that at 10,005 maybe.
All right, any more questions?
Yeah, just, let's log me in.
Log Me In is allowing me to be able to work at home. That was something that the village board approved back in 2018 when my husband had spine surgery and I had to be home.
So it's $400 a month?
No, that's a year.
Okay. I don't have any more questions.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve treasurer's report for November through December.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Discussion action? You opposed or you not? Mary?
Opposed. Thank you.
Okay, that's, I think, why you come in late when we're doing the motion,
Right.
so we just have to, that's why I think it got missed last time, Mary, so
Yeah, I think so, so.
we just need to make sure we know, yep.
All right, so discussion, action on invoices to be paid.
Did Northwest Dane come in this year?
It's on here for $8,000.
I know, but I don't remember them coming in and talking about it, unless I
Good.
forgot.
Okay.
So we just, I just didn't know we said
You
8,000.
know, ask Shelley. Shelley?
Yep.
The Northwest Dane, did we ever discuss that?
Yeah, when we did budget, it was approved for 8,000 again.
I kind of remember something, but I didn't remember.
Well, usually they come in December and that's that's why I was
Oh.
wondering why they didn't.
Yeah, actually, that came, we discussed it at the October budget workshop, and again, when we did the budget approval. And yes, they could have come in and did an audit presentation. We still could have them do that for the formal request if you want them to.
No, I mean, not that, I don't. How come, what was the circumstance, Matt, that you'd have to pay for gas for a truck?
I went to, BP to put off-road diesel in the tractor backhoe,
But why?
paid it for, pumped at the thing, went inside, and the card got declined. So I had my credit card on it, I just swapped my card through it versus running back to the shop to get another fuel card and trying to pay for it that way.
Okay.
So
I'd
Shelley
rather
knows-
not see that, I mean, it's, like, I don't think we should do that, be doing that, but.
I would.
Right.
I mean, especially since you're in town, I mean, it's easy to go back to
Yeah,
town. or
and
come back
that's
to the
fine, I
office.
mean, I don't think BP would've had an issue, but it was right there, I said, I'll just pay it, but if it's an issue, I'll go back to the shop and find another card to pay for it.
We should probably keep it on the car,
I mean,
just
actually-
for audit purposes, I agree with you.
Yeah, that's fine. But Shelley and Danny saw the invoice, know about the issue.
No, I'm not saying an issue, I just think for record keeping and all this stuff.
Yep, that's fine.
Did the card get resolved?
Oh, yes, it did, finally.
Yeah.
So I think that's a topic for, Public Works next meeting is gas cards once again.
Okay.
Any more discussion on new invoices?
Yes, I
Make a
still have a
motion.
question.
Okay,
Under the Westress Quarry, I thought we agreed at a rate much, much lower per month. And it's showing December, January and February at $750, which if you divide by 3 is $250. That's a lot higher than I remember it being.
No, there's been no change to that amount. It's $250 a month.
Okay, so the contract didn't change from when we talked about it last year then.
Correct.
Well, there was a final.
What is this?
It was talked, that's for the rental out there, the area to dump and
Where you
everything.
dump snow.
Okay, yeah.
Well, that was discussed many times over a year and then approved, so I don't know at what point, but it was $250 when it was approved, so. I remember it, yeah.
And that's what it was the previous year too.
Yeah.
And how long is that contract for?
1-year term.
Yep.
Yeah, so,
Every year we renew it, and if not, then somebody can get up if they want to.
okay.
All right, I'll make a motion, we approve invoices to be paid.
Second.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay. All right, committee reports. Vanguard, we have not had a meeting since the last one. Our next meeting is the 18th at 6:30 PM. Sean?
Yes. Just to kind of go along with what Shelley said, she has not got our December billing yet. We're having some issues with Civic. This has been an ongoing thing. We had some troubles getting a hold of them or getting somebody to get back to us. We're expecting to have that resolved by the end of the week. So my guess is you guys should see that bill by the end of the week. Our quick kind of our numbers without, final numbers, we are going to be under budget. We'll be close, but we will be under budget. So that's looking good there. We did install the 3-phase power going into the new for the new service at the high school on their new addition. We weren't supposed to put that until spring, but they wanted that pushed up. So we had a contractor come in and drill that in. The high school is willing to incur that extra cost. Been kind of finalizing some services, still been getting some new house services coming in. We do charge frost charge if that does happen, so that's covered. Only other thing I got is I have not heard any updates about our new substation from Forrester, our electrical engineers. I think we're kind of in that limbo land of waiting for the PSC and our CA applications. So as soon as I hear something from them, I will definitely let you guys know. Other than that, that's about all I got.
So Sean, I've got a question for you. Under the bill pay approval page, I don't know if you might not have a copy of it, but it lists all the Vanguard charges.
Sure.
And it includes a $97,866.77 for construction work in progress. Is that for the high school?
No, that's throughout I don't have it in front of me, but throughout the year, all of our capital projects basically get put into that account. So all of our, new services or basically project work kind of gets put into that. So that's what that account is for. And everything gets split out at the end of the year to individual PSC accounts.
Okay, thank you. Is that, so Shelley, is that how the accountant wants it? Build in chunk and then divided out at the end of the year? Is that?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we actually give a report at the end of the year that there's many different PSC accounts. When we do that, we split everything out into those accounts in a report for Shelley.
Yeah. For what it's worth, Mary, the village did not break those out into accounts for many years. And after our PSC billing audit back in 2015, we had to go back several years and split out those invoices. It was a lot of work. So this detailed billing is a result of that and the PSC requirements.
Perfect. Yes, it does look good. I just wanted to make sure if it was broken down enough at the end that it's allocated properly for the auditor.
Yep.
All right. Black Earth Fire District, Mary.
Okay, so fire meets this Thursday at 6:30. We did not have a meeting last week, month.
All right, thank you. Dane, Iowa, James.
We met on December 16th.
This meets the first Monday of the month?
Third Thursday.
Third Thursday.
So we have a seat open to the Village of Black Earth.
Yep.
As representatives that we need to,
Got somebody in mind?
Get
Pretty sure
filled.
they're gonna take it.
you know,
Um,
are they gonna be able to?
I talked to Norm Hahn about that.
Okay.
We've worked for the DNR on the clean water side for many years, and he would be interested in doing that for that. So,
All right, so
I'll
do we
go
have
here
to
very
find out and
shortly.
approve before we can do it?
huh? What?
Do we have to approve?
I don't know, that's what we're waiting to find out. Did you find out on that, Shelley?
You could do it either way. You as village president can appoint the vacancy, or you can bring it in front of the full board. It's your decision.
Okay, that's what I thought, I just wanted to confirm it, so. All right. In the midterm,
Okay,
yep. Why, did you have somebody else in mind?
no, I just, because I didn't know if it was selected by Dane, Iowa, or
It's not
selected by the
selected by
village,
Dane,
it is
Iowa.
selected by the village.
It's selected by the village.
Okay, so he will or will not be able,
I've got to confirm with him now that I know it's third Thursday, but it sounds like he will.
okay.
You've got one coming up the third Thursday. If he can't, then
Yeah,
I'll
so it'll
probably,
be the 20th,
I'll probably fill it,
Okay.
so.
Okay.
Committee member position?
It's a
No,
public committee member.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, it
Not a
can't be a
board
board.
What's that?
It's non-board.
It's a citizen.
But it's a public position,
Yep.
I guess is where I was going,
Yep.
yeah.
Otherwise approved bills, no discharge violations, and we're still talking about the on-call compositions. That'll be on there for a while, so we haven't decided, we've decided to go ahead with the on-call compensation, just not sure on how to go about it yet, so that'll be on, talk about the, that's it.
All right. Economic development, we had a meeting on December 15th.
I think James has got something to say.
Sorry,
Sorry.
1/20/22. Thursday,
At
6:30 p.m.
6:30? Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
We had an economic development meeting on December 15th. Kind of discussed kind of a game plan going forward. And then we set another meeting, and I don't know, we don't have a meeting right now because there was a conflict. There's nothing set in stone, right, Shelley?
And it seems like the consensus of all parties wants to still have it on the same night. I'm a little concerned with the back-to-back because we don't know what time police will get done. So discussion on that?
What?
Yeah, we meet at 5:15, don't we, for police?
Yeah, but have we set the date?
Oh, we did on the 19th. I thought it was the
Yeah.
19th.
Both meetings were set on the 19th. That was the conflict. That's either we.
So I never put it in because it was a conflict, so that's why I'm questioning it.
I mean, I just made a note from the last meeting, so if it's changed, but,
Okay.
I mean, you run a pretty efficient meeting. I don't know if we could do them both. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem running back to back.
You wanna stick with, 5:15 on the 19th then for police? Well,
Should we move back, the same night, except move it back a little bit for economic development? What time did we have it set, Shelley?
Oh, boy.
What? So how long does police take normally, an hour,
no, half an hour.
half an hour?
He runs a very efficient meeting.
Okay.
Is there stuff to talk about now, or?
Even if we do it, we go an hour.
So we're gonna do the same night, Shelley? So
Yeah,
we're
you could do it. You could do it the same night. You just bringing that to everyone's attention. I was going through the scheduling and.
Perfect.
19th at what time?
6:30, is that okay? EDC, this is
What time do we have EDC at? 6 or 6:30?
Usually we have it at 6.
Yeah.
well, why don't we give it police an hour and we'll do 6:15?
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
I'll show up this time.
Oh, my.
All right, emergency management, Mary.
Okay, we have not had a meeting. I haven't heard anything from Shelley or seen anything about hearing back from the county yet about our Stipley paperwork that was sent in. So I'm not sure how to proceed from here. If we don't have anything
Okay.
new, then we won't meet this month. Shelley, anything new from them?
Yep, so the final drafts were submitted to Dane County. They're at the process of pulling that all together and getting it into FEMA. I believe they had a deadline of the end of this month to get their stuff into FEMA. I have not heard anything back from them yet.
So does that mean that our paperwork was good? We did a
Yeah.
good job and it's all acceptable? So
Yeah.
you heard back about that part?
I did, and
Thumbs up?
I
Okay.
would have to tell you that the Village of Black Earth was the only one that had as many submitted as we did. Most of the other communities only had 2, maybe 3. We had like 6.
Wow. Yeah, we did, but that was good. We decided we
job.
wanted more than less.
Yep,
Yeah, so good. So I'm assuming then we will set one for February.
yeah.
And I don't know when. I guess we'll have to,
Okay.
I'll stay in,
that's fine.
when
I'll stay
everybody's
in touch
available.
with the county and see where they're at, and we'll set one from there.
so I do not have a date at this time, but we will make sure that everybody is contacted via the email to attend the meeting.
Okay. EMS committee.
We have not met since November. Our next meeting is January 13th at 6:30 PM.
Okay. Library board. We'll stay right with you.
Yeah, Sarah was kind enough to attend the December meeting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for allowing me the opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
So it was, pretty much business as usual. There was a couple things to call out.
What was the date?
Oh, I'm sorry, 21st of December. Yep. The silent auction went well. I don't want to steal too much of Bailey's thunder, so
No, that's
I'm
always
just gonna gloss over some of these things. So the silent auction went well. We did talk about, the conversation around Mary's proposal and the following, board meeting. The library board wanted me to specifically convey that, they were never under an impression that it was a solicitation for money. And I conveyed back to them that we totally understand that, and it was more out of abundance of caution than anything, just due to the timing of everything and how everything played out. Bailey has offered us, the presentation that Mary did. If we want to view it as a board, we can, it's out there. So there's nothing, it's there if we want to see it. But I think all said and done, there's nothing really to go drag through there.
And I don't think it really had anything to do with the presentation, it had to do with the newspaper article.
Right,
Yeah.
yep, and that's what it was, it's just, there wasn't enough information, it came too quickly, and too public of a view, if you will, and so it's just more of a abundance of caution than anything.
Yep.
So outside of that, again, library hours will be changing a little bit due to, delivery. When books are getting delivered, so they're gonna be opening the doors at 9:30 instead of 10. So nothing really, as far as the public is concerned there, it's just more time. And they are looking to hire a substitute librarian, to cover for sick time and vacation. And there is a Black Earth puzzle of the village that they're looking to put up in the village somewhere. I kinda looked around, I didn't see it, so I'm guessing that's still kind of in the works.
I think it's right in the entrance, like right as you come in, it's on the left.
Oh, okay, I'll have to look harder
It
then.
is now.
I walked right by it.
I looked at it, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, awesome. The next meeting is January 18th at 7 PM. If I can hand it over to Bailey.
That was, very thorough, thanks, Mary. Yeah, so we met on December 21st, and we talked about the annual report and some of the deadlines for that. So we were trying to plan ahead to make sure that we could meet those deadlines, within the timeframe of our meetings without having to have any extra meetings, which I'm sure everyone appreciates. And the silent art auction was just immensely successful. We had a record number of both donations and bids, and I know a lot of folks who are here had a hand in that. So the Friends of the Library wanted me to extend my thanks to all of you. And yeah, so our service hours did get approved to change. We get a delivery every day of items in big boxes. That used to come between 8 and 9, and now it comes between 11 and 12. So we used to have folks come in an hour before we opened just to kind of process all those things. But we recently decided that it was possible to do that as we were open between patrons, which is why we pushed the hours back a little bit. I know it's not too dramatic of a change, but it is 2.5 more hours of library time a week, so that's not nothing. And I guess the other news is that I became a notary public for the state of Wisconsin, and I'm offering that service for free at the library, so that is something that I'm able to do for folks now.
Thank you for doing that, Bailey.
And our next meeting is January 18th at 7 p.m. over Zoom.
Awesome. All right, Scott, you're up, Public Works.
Public Works met on Wednesday, December 8th at 1 p.m. It was basically a closed session to discuss our new employee who we've hired, and I'm going to let the rest go to Matt because we really didn't discuss anything else in that meeting.
Yeah, after 3 months, we finally got a new employee. Luke Shinneman started on January 4th. He's fitting in well. With the help of Scott Patchin, I guess I don't remember the date, but Tony and Scott and myself set up the ice rink. This kind of Public Works and Parks will talk about it, but I think it took us about all of 3 hours just to get the border perimeter set up with the liner and such. Did have a issue with the liner, actually had a hole in it from the factory. We threw some tape in it, patched it up. I had photos, sent those to Shelley. Shelley was able to send those photos to EasyRink, and we got a brand new liner shipped. Actually Friday night it showed up.
Yeah, it showed up at 5:30 Friday night.
Yep, in front of the double doors.
There was no talk of that driver into taking it anywhere else either, because I tried.
Just a quick note on that. I got an email today that they were shipping a new liner, and I called and asked, I said, please tell me it's not another one. No, delayed email.
So it's the one.
I can't believe that shipping built us to beat an email.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah.
Should we open up this liner and double check it as well, just to make sure this one doesn't have a hole? Do you think that
No, we
it's
don't
a
want-
chronic problem?
We're leaving that one rolled up tight until, we need it.
Yeah.
It's currently in the shop and it'll stay down there until we need need it.
We'll never get
So the other one,
up.
with the other one, we got patched up, started to fill it with water. You can see it's actually been used quite a bit. So I think it's a good fit for the community. We've been trying to top it to get good quality ice. With the cold weather, it's been a challenge. We're just kind of waiting until things warm up a little bit so we don't have to worry about pumps freezing and such.
It's been real nice. I've seen some families down there bringing their own nets and
Yep.
setting up their own hockey, so I'm glad we put it in the fenced up area.
Yeah.
It seems to be taking off.
Yeah.
Carmen told me that they're starting to call the police department asking if they'll rent skates to them. I said, we should put that in your contract.
Right.
He didn't say much.
So yeah, the skate rink seems to be a big hit for the community. I guess moving on, being into contact with me last week, looking to hopefully start Perel's, stormwater ditches this week. So we'll see if they make it into town. Obviously not today, it was just too cold, but hopefully they'll be in town tomorrow or Wednesday to get that started. We did go past our normal brush chipping for the month of December, just being that there was no snow. A lot of people were still picking up sticks. We had a couple windstorms. so we just kind of kept going with our normal first and third Wednesdays. There was a couple snowstorms closer to the holidays. Tony and I just did that since we were still down an employee at that time. Leaf collection wrapped up in the first week of December, and we kind of just been doing some equipment maintenance, shop maintenance also. So that's about it.
Good. Thanks, Matt.
Any questions, I guess?
All right.
Next Public Works meeting, I believe, is January
24th?
24th at 1 PM. It's a Monday.
All right. Parks.
Parks has not met since, December sixth.
Okay.
And again, wanted to say thanks for getting the Mitch crew for getting the ice rink out there. I believe our next meeting is the 24th. I don't know if somebody can correct me on that, of January?
I think that's
No, it is.
It is?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
6 PM.
Yep, January 24th at 6 PM.
All right, Scott.
Well, we didn't have a police committee meeting in
All
December,
right.
and because of I don't have a date for a next meeting, but
19th?
is it the 19th?
19th at 5:15.
There we go.
Just said that.
We just said that, didn't we? I just put it in. Okay, that's a skinny.
All right. Any other business may be brought before the board for future agendas? All right, I'll move on to number 7. Any meeting announcement? Next meeting will be February 1st, 2022. And time is gonna be
6 o'clock?
6 o'clock, good?
Yep, good for
6
me.
is good with me.
That's February 1st?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Better than April Fool's Day.
Yep.
All right. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone. Have a good night.
Bye.
Get better, Shelley.
Thank you.
You know, maybe.